Hate to say it to ya, hate to break it to ya, but we ain't gon' make it cause this just ain't no true love. Yeah, we started out as friends, parked out in my Benz, and on my windows 10, so we start to get it in. Fast forward, now we arguing again and again and again over every little thing. I'm like, when will it end? Something told me get to rolling, pack your shit and hit the 10. So that's just what I did. Yep, I slid up out that bitch, but before I hit the road, at least I leave a little note. Like to hear it go. Bitch, don't choke on my smoke, cause I'm gone. Adios.
Alright, welcome to a new episode of the LEZ Factor. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys have been subscribing and just great numbers, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So just to introduce the cast, to my left I have Erica, local LA chef. Then next to her I have Jessica, who is an author, a radio host, and also starting in Lesbo Apparel, so check her out. Nice. Next to her I have Aisha. She's the owner of Night Chapter Barbershop. You need a fresh cut, check her out in the Fairfax district. Next to her we have Savannah, our local actress, model extraordinaire. Love her very much. One of our legacy cast members. Then we have Uzo, who has been a cast member season 3, co-owner of Stuzo Clothing. Check them out online or in person. Next to her we have Azure. She is a celebrity massage therapist, fresh from Arizona, newly to Los Angeles. We appreciate her being on the cast. And next we have Stacy, my business partner. So anyway, just to jump in, first question was, should you have to discuss major purchases with your girl if you're not married? My girl got mad because I purchased a furniture set and didn't discuss it with her. Last time I checked, I lived alone. But she feels she spends so much time in my house that I should have consulted her first. What? Erica, do you have to discuss major purchases with your girl if you're not married?
There is no joint account, no address. She hasn't made the change of address, paid the dollar on U.S. Postal Service or whatever. There is no reason she should have any decisions in your, whether, I mean, maybe it's between the appetizer and the entree, maybe she wants to buy but major purchases within your house, no. Not unless it's, you know, the deed is in her name and your name, then no, I don't think so.
Jessica, do you have to discuss major purchases with your girl if you're not married?
No, I don't think it's a necessity, but I do think, I think it sounds like more of it's a communication. Like if that's something that I feel like you would share with your spouse, if you would share like what you did at work that day, but I don't think it's necessary if we don't have a joint account. But I feel like if I told you what I ate for lunch, I would tell you that I made a big purchase.
Right. Like I bought, check out this ottoman I just bought. The ottoman.
Aisha?
I agree. That's right. Who are you?
She's
like,
your girlfriend.
You know, okay, but like recently, I decided, okay, you know, I got some stuff I want to do at my shop, so I'm gonna stay in my studio for another 6 months. Great price point. I'm gonna revamp my studio, and I went to IKEA and bought stuff from my studio. And it's a beautiful studio again. I didn't tell my girlfriend like, hey babe, can I buy this comforter? Or is it okay? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. That's crazy.
Savannah?
Not unless it's like, you know, burdening you financially, I guess. But that's
So if all of a sudden you can't pay your rent, I gotta
all
help
of a
you
sudden we
out.
can't go to dinner.
Right.
No, like dinner. Like, yeah, we can't go to dinner anymore.
Savannah?
No. Why though? Like, I feel like one of the things that attracts people is that you guys have different personalities. So if I revamp my house or whatever, it might attract you. It's like we have different styles. No need to ever ask me if we're not sharing bank accounts and we're not doing the whole thing. Why?
Why?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Uzo, so do you have to notify your girlfriend if you're making a major purchase? If you're not married?
If you're not married.
If you're not married, as long as you don't have the same account, you know, if it's not her, you're not spending her money. No, I mean it's
right. Like,
it's I don't
question.
think so. I mean you can do it to be cute and say, hey babe, I'm buying this stuff. What do you think? Just to be cute, and it's like, oh, you know, let's
like
decide.
What do
You
you
know, because
think?
you're envisioning you guys ending up together. And
Right.
You're probably gonna live here at some point.
Right,
So
sure.
let's do this together.
Right.
But aside from that, no.
No.
That's not what it's all no to me. Azure?
If you don't live together, it's none of her business.
Hey.
Well,
Not at all.
well, I think
You'll know the changes when
if
you
you've
get
been
here.
together, if you've been together a long time, if you've been together like a year, then I could understand you'd be like, you know, what do you think about this couch? Just like you would anything else in your life, like I'm gonna make some major changes. But if we don't live together and my financial decisions don't affect your life, then I don't think the shared
It
bank
clearly
account.
does.
Well, I don't think the shared. I don't think the shared bank account
I don't want to
matters
watch Netflix
because
on
I don't
this.
share. I don't share my bank account with my partner, and we discuss. Yeah, we're not married, and we live together, but we don't share accounts. But we still discuss any kind of major purchase together because we're in. We commute, yeah.
Yeah,
If they don't live
that's
together,
good.
then no. If you're like
Sure.
new in a relationship and you don't live together and your financial decision doesn't affect the other person, it's none of their
If
business.
you're all together and we don't live together, like,
Yeah.
just
It's
shit.
like changing from
yeah,
like
fuck
panties
that.
to boxers to brief. This is gonna be a surprise. Did you?
She's like, I'm
So
an advertiser.
different
Panties to briefs. Come on.
That's how I feel.
Come on.
Stacey, should you have to discuss major purchases with your girl if you're not married?
No.
Her answer was no.
It sounds like you might have some type of like control issue if you feel like you
Yeah.
need someone to tell you that. Again, you guys don't live together. You guys don't, share the expenses. She's not paying rent or utilities as much as she might be there. But it sounds like, they may want to be included in the decision. So you can ask their opinion, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is your decision.
It almost sounds like you don't want to do that because then you set a precedent. for,
Right,
like,
kind of,
times
yeah.
wedding. No.
Yeah, but no, you don't have to do that.
that's
That's just
crazy.
It
ridiculous.
shouldn't.
Yeah. I wouldn't know. I've never gotten to the point where we're buying furniture together. So if I buy something, I bought it. If you don't like it, it's kind of a personal problem. So
Where it come from? Who brought this all in this room?
you don't like my Pier 1 account? Like,
I
no.
don't want no duvet.
It's an ugly sham.
Right? Who shared this?
Next question was: there are so many new categories of lesbians that if
Shit.
lesbians, if that's even correct.
There is.
Am I a bad lesbian because I don't know what gender fluid is? I see it everywhere. Last year, everyone was sapiosexual, and now everybody's gender fluid. What the fuck does that mean?
Sapiosexual is someone who was attracted to someone who's very smart.
I don't think that was her point. Her point was,
I know she's
nothing to
naming shit.
Fluid.
what does gender fluid mean to you, Erica?
I mean,
That ain't no
To
question.
me, it's more like I identify kind of as queer. So I mean, I am feminine in a lot of ways, like my mannerisms and stuff. But I will wear,
This.
masculine clothing or whatever. But it's just like it seems to work. So it's fluid, like in the change and the. I'm gonna be totally wording this right and putting myself in a hole, but I just feel that I'm able to be masculine one day and be more feminine the next. Just it depends. But my mannerisms kind of contradict, what I'm wearing. So it's fluid. It kind of just works,
Okay.
That's what it is to me.
Jessica?
Yeah, I agree. I think that, well, for me, I've always been a tomboy. I've always played sports.
I'm sorry. You've always been a tomboy?
I've always been a tomboy.
Every time I see you
so
have on
I was-
heels.
Well, no, but
Like
I
her
mean,
strapless one piece.
like last time when I was on the show,
just
then I'll come
punched
out
me
in a
earlier.
cutoff. Like I have all brothers. Yeah, so I feel like I'm very gender fluid. Like if I feel more comfortable one way or another, or my personality is gender fluid. Like I'm not a pillow princess, or I guess what people would say is like uber feminine or masculine. I feel like I could be both.
You could be a bro at the same time.
She's definitely a bro.
You're a bro.
Aisha?
No,
You're a top and a bottom.
I'm mostly top.
She's like, I'm not a bottom.
Well, I noticed that a lot of women who, like my friend here, who are like outwardly feminine looking, but like usually top their girlfriends, they see themselves as more tomboys, even though they don't aesthetically look like as such. So
That's a good way to put it.
yeah.
The question was, what does gender fluid mean to you?
Thanks. I don't give a fuck what I'm talking about. Okay, come on.
What does gender fluid mean to you?
A bunch of smart people threw some words together. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's what that means to me. It's too much. Everybody got super smart and super like
Categorized.
open.
Politically
Gender
correct.
fluidity is, what it is. It's gender, it's fluidity. Those words are together, and the definition of such.
I can't even. Savannah?
I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing. Gender, was it?
Just fluid.
That's it.
If I had to just guess, gender fluid, it means that you can kind of, what I would just,
Be whatever.
assuming that you can get into every style. You can be femme, you can
If you
be
want to know what
stud, you
gender
can
fluidity
be-
is, take a cup of water, pour it, and how it spills everywhere. That's
Yeah, you can be
fluidity. You can be
everything.
wherever the fuck that water
Femme,
goes.
you can be
That's
stud,
it.
right.
Be whatever. Be the water.
Right.
Be
Okay.
the water.
Be the
Right?
water.
Be the water. All right, we're in the matrix now. Uzo, what does gender fluid mean to you?
Well, I identify as Uzo. I don't really know. I mean, anything else, it's sort of for the birds. I sort of just, I don't know. What it means to me is it's not a part of my life. It doesn't affect me. I don't really, but it's just, it's what it is. Like Aisha said, it's water, just be the water. Be whatever it is, but it means to just do whatever you feel. You're part of every aspect of, gender and sexuality, I suppose.
Azura, what does gender fluid mean to you?
Well, I think gender fluid came from sexual fluidity, the book. There's a book.
Of course there's a book. There's always a book.
The movie.
I'm not
The
gonna-
spoken word.
So I'm not going to remember the author. I actually bought the book. It's a really great book, but it's a very well-known book about how women are very sexually fluid, how they can go back and forth. So I think that sexual fluidity or gender fluidity means that you can go from masculine to feminine very easily. And so I know women like that who are tomboys, who can wear like that, and who can wear a dress like Ruby Rose is like the sexual fluid person that's like huge, right? So she's sexually fluid because she can wear heels and something very feminine, and she can wear a masculine outfit and be more. Am I?
No, that makes sense.
I don't know what the question said. What does it
Well,
mean?
fluid to me is back and forth. It's
Yeah,
like you
it's
can go
really
back and
both.
forth.
So like you can do everything.
You can do everything.
Yeah.
Be the water, I say.
Yeah, you can be
water.
Okay, be the water.
Be the water.
Be the water.
Water.
Yeah.
So Stacey, what does gender fluid mean to you?
I think the literal meaning is pretty much what everybody already said, gender, male, female, fluidity, just, flowing. So just, being able to just do.
Sounds like a lot of wet women.
No, I wasn't even thinking on that level.
I'm sorry, I'm drinking.
I'm saying just let it
She
flow.
was. Thank you, Savannah, for being with me.
Just let it flow, whatever comes, whatever floats your boat. Like if you feel
flows,
like,
yes.
jeez, please shut.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay, I don't think you're a bad gay for not knowing what gender fluid is, because as our panel has shown you, we don't know what it means either.
You're a
Some
good
common
gay.
sense to put it together.
I mean, for me, I don't really know. I guess gender fluid is people got tired of being a STEM or no label, and they don't want to categorize themselves. They're just kind of like this or that or whatever the fuck moves their moment or their soul that day. So one day they might want to wear a heel, one day they might want to wear like some Chucks. I don't know. So you're not a bad gay, because clearly we're all gay and we don't know what it means either. So you're not alone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it is what you want it to be. So the next question, it says, how would you describe your love language? I.e., do you do words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service? I don't even know what acts of service means.
I read
Receiving
the book.
gifts
I've read the book.
And like,
or
Yeah,
physical
I read
touch.
the book.
It's
Right.
from the book. I read
From the book.
Okay,
book.
so Miss, I read the book. How would you describe your personal love language?
You could be loving in your wrong love language.
To prioritize them.
Did you say how would you describe your love?
No, I know, but that's what the book is about. It's we all of them are our language, but it's which one we prioritize.
Yeah, right.
Like I like acts of service, but I may, want the affirmations before I even,
oh, hell
Okay,
no.
I'm sorry.
You didn't
I
use
have to
that.
pause.
Like a universal.
Wait a minute. What does acts of
What's
service mean?
affirmation?
It means like doing things that you believe your partner would appreciate. I might do your laundry, but that's not something that you care about. You might want me to buy you gifts or cook you dinner. I'm over here thinking you're happy because I'm washing your clothes and folding, putting them away, but you don't really care about that. So it's just acts of service, whatever you do for that person.
But what is your love language?
Well, I was just answering the question you asked me.
Question said, how would
I
you...
know, but you asked me what is acts of service. I don't even know what that is.
Clearly, I touched a nerve. So the question is,
Didn't she ask me what acts of
question says, how would you describe
Okay,
your
I know
love
the
language?
question. I know the question.
Then answer it.
The fan.
What is your love language?
Crisp.
Clearly it's not this.
Crisp, ladies.
let's
Crisp.
see.
Crisp.
For yourself.
I know, I'm trying to think. It's so hard.
So it's acts of service, words of affirmation.
It just says, how would you describe it? And it said IE and gave
There's
examples.
four.
Okay, well, let's put it as, which one would you prioritize?
I know, I'm
Love
trying
is
to think.
universal,
Give me a
so that's
minute.
my
Sheesh.
lane.
Okay,
that's
sure.
fancy.
Since I'm being rushed, let's go with the positive affirmations.
Oh, she needs hand jobs. Moving on.
She's like, oh my God, you did such an awesome job. I like
Moving
that.
forward.
You're so good at work, babe.
Azure, how would you describe your love language?
I'm words of affirmation.
So it's about letting the person know verbally?
No, well, it's what you like to hear.
Oh.
So the whole love language is what your partner wants to have done for them, and then what you want. So I like words of affirmation. I like to hear, you know, I like to hear I love you more than I'm shown those things. Some people like gifts, right? Some people like gifts, and what are the other
Some
two?
people like
It's
head.
like acts.
It
or-
said,
Is that what you mean by acts of
it
service?
said
Quality time.
words of affirmation,
Crisp
quality
ladies.
time, acts of service, receiving gifts, physical touch.
Oh, okay.
Well, and you know what, my partner and I, when we talked about this, we did the two. So the physical is one, and then the words of affirmation are the other.
Okay. Uzo, how would you describe your love language?
I think the same as her, which is physical touch and words of affirmation. Yeah. I think the combination of both definitely does it for me.
Okay. Savannah, what's describe your love language?
Sorry, girls, but all
She's like head.
That's physical. That's physical touch.
Like a word of affirmation.
It's head.
rubbing it out.
I'm sorry. What was after head?
Somebody.
You said rubbing it out.
Yeah, rubbing it out.
Rubbing it
What's
out.
the question again? Just read it one more
It's
time.
what is your.
How would you describe your love language? Is it words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, receiving gifts, or physical touch?
All of it.
Okay, well, I'm definitely about the physical touch. It has to be. I can't do long distance relationships. Physical touch is a must. And then, affirmation.
You just need one.
Yeah, you just
No, I need two. You
What's
say
the
it
shot?
again. Say again.
Words of affirmation,
Gifts.
quality time.
Quality time, because I need to be able to spend time with that person. If you don't have a connection with that person, and
Yeah.
you're not having a one-on-one, like our souls are touching, and like there's no point of even being in a
It's all about touching with you, I see. Our souls have got to be touching.
Physically
relationship.
touch.
Aisha?
Oh, quality time, number one, hands down. Gotta have quality time. Physical touch, then words of affirmation, and then, gifts are the last. If somebody just walks in with gifts all the time and deuces, I'll see you next week. I'll be like, huh?
Yeah, somebody
Yeah,
went on
nah.
our YouTube channel, and I guess on one episode you said the best gifts you ever got was like fruit roll-ups. They were like, Aisha, fruit roll-ups, I'm gonna get you something.
Yeah, dude, it's true. It was a 40-pack of fruit roll-ups. My mother got that for me. You know, it was the last two gifts, and it was she was like, I want you to open these at the end, and they were fruit roll-ups and a big jar of pickles, cause those.
Oh, I love whole pickles.
Yeah,
all
she
kinds.
listens. Yeah, man.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Jessica, how would you describe your love language?
I think it's between affirmation and quality time and then physical touch.
Okay.
But it's a combination. I don't think I could say like in this order.
Okay, but clearly you just put them in the order, so.
Well, because I had to.
You can't say all three at the same time.
I mean, they go 1, 2, or 3, but I don't have an order.
I'm saying they're all
No order to it or anything.
I
It's
understand
just-
you,
this is
Jessica.
first.
I
Yeah,
understand.
second.
Yes.
You know, that's third, fourth, and fifth.
Erica, how would you describe your love language?
Can I say what acts of service is?
Yes.
For example, I think acts of service is like, your wife or girlfriend is coming home and you cook dinner for her. And she doesn't know you cook dinner, and she's having
Anything,
stressful
yeah.
that you run a bath for her. These are acts of service.
Say excuse me after
Okay,
you burp.
so clearly that's why I'm
Quality
single,
time,
because
acts of service, physical touch, something else,
Affirmation.
and then words of affirmation, then the gifts at the end.
Yeah.
so that's why I'm single, because I don't know what any of this shit means.
You don't know what giving a gift means?
Describe my love language. I guess it would
Buy it on my
be
Kindle.
it would be quality
The gift I
time.
was talking about.
Because if we're not spending time together, then I must be single. So that would be my answer. Next question. Says, I find that I date women that most remind me of my mother. It freaks me out.
Lesbian.
It freaks me out when I notice the similarities. Do you find that you mimic what your parents have or something totally different? Erica?
Oh, I'm like polar opposite.
Polar opposite of what they have?
choose- Yeah. I know it because there's no quality. You know what? I lied.
You lied.
I
Okay.
guess, yeah, there's some dominant things that I actually look for. And it's eerily like my mother. It's weird.
Okay, so you want
a
to
whole
deny
nother
it, then
show.
confirm it. Okay.
So
Our mothers.
thought about it.
I'm just so
Talking it out,
mothers.
just pass it.
Okay, work it out, work it out. Jessica, do you find you mimic what your parents have or something totally different?
I mean, I think I've done both. Like my mom is very sweet, kind, compassionate, like a giver, generous, and I'm that way. And my dad was more dominant and more of a taker.
So who do you date though, is the question.
I've done both.
Both.
I've dated, I guess, variations of both, but I've learned from both. Thank you.
So,
Namaste.
the question is, are we like our parents or what?
It says, I find that I date women that most remind me of my mother. Do you find that you mimic what your parents have or something totally different?
What your parents have?
Yeah.
Like their relationship.
Oh, right. Oh, no. Mine is eerily like my parents, actually. How me and Regina met to like how we're interacting. Yeah. Like, it's, yeah, the same.
Yeah, the same.
A lot of love. Black love. Love Jones 2015.
Love y'all, 2015. Hashtag that. Savannah.
It defies description.
It's such a loaded question. This is all due to sociology, but I think that a lot of it has to do with who you choose and your parents and who they're with. Because you kind of mimic what you see and what is your natural habitat. And if whatever your parents are dating, then that kind of seems to trickle down effect.
Okay. So do you think you mimic what your parents have or something totally different?
There's a part of it that's there, which is like, you know, because my family, my mother's side, they have money, my father's side doesn't, and my mom was with my father because, you know, for love, and like her family is like, they disown her and all that shit. So it's kind of like, I have a little bit of both. I have a little bit of a part of it and then not. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's a long story. But I'm gonna say part, yeah, I think so.
So
The
to
love
paraphrase,
part where
yes.
it's not about anything else, right? It's just, you know, the love. So yeah, I say yes.
So Jory, do you mimic what your parents have or something totally different?
Both.
Can you expand upon that?
No, I feel like when you talk about your parents, it gets into like a deep thing, but I tend to date people similar to one of my parents, we'll just say that. And I think you always, when you grow up and you become more mature, you realize that there are unresolved issues with your own parents that you're now redoing through your relationships, and now I've realized that, so it's healthier, but I think that I tend to be, you know, like you, more of the chill, passive, more like spiritual person, which is more like my mother. I tend to be with people that are a little bit more like my father, which is those other things, and so now I'm finding a healthy balance. So yeah, I think you kind of find yourself there sometimes.
Stacey?
I'll be different from everybody else. I really don't. None of them.
Look that way.
I don't.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I look for things that I like in people. I don't look for things that I like, you know, in my parents or what they, you know, what they are to each other.
No, but wait,
You know?
no, it's not.
It happens like
by
subconsciously,
happenstance.
you don't realize.
No, I know. I'm conscious.
Happen.
Yeah, no, consciously. Yeah, no, I don't. I really don't.
That's a solid no.
Cyborg.
Solid. For me, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about that. Like, I stay single, like, all the time. And, like, my mother is single, my grandmother is single, and I feel like we just find a way to, like, live, you know, by myself. So I'll find more reasons to not date someone than to date someone. Just because I'm not in it to, like, settle or anything. I feel
So
like...
you think that's because of your...
It
you
could
know,
very well be. Sometimes I think, I wonder if I'm gonna be like my mom, like single at 50. Like, I don't know.
unconsciously, you're living that life.
Oh, it's
So,
conscious
yes.
because I think about it sometimes. I'd be like, I can't, because Like,
Well, first thing is don't look for anything in anybody. Just be. If you're
it's
looking
not
for shit,
even
then
about that.
that's-
It's about, I find, like, for me, I feel like a lot of people settle. Like, they'll be in a relationship and they'll be like, oh, I don't want to start over.
Right.
And my thing is, I'd rather be alone than to be
Yeah.
where I'm not
Yeah, but
happy.
at the same time, don't think so much, I want to be
You're
alone,
never
I'd rather be
alone.
alone, where you don't make allowances for
Sure.
other people, you know, because if you
cut
have
off
that
too
in your mind
quick.
when it's so easy to, you're like, I'll be okay by myself.
Maybe when I'm
You
40,
get
then
more.
that'll happen. But right now,
Well,
I'm okay by myself.
You see-
Oh, no, we
Well,
looking
you
at your
can't have
watch.
that
I'm right. I got 5 years.
It's
I'm
about
looking at
that
your watch
time.
like that.
So do I.
Yeah,
Shit. we in the same boat.
All right.
Start now.
Next question was, do you think this next generation will be the ones that bring about the death of labels in the Black lesbian community?
No.
Or in your case, the lesbian community? I find that more and more people identify as woman for woman or no label than I've ever seen before. I embrace that. Or do you think it's just a regional in my city? So do you think that the death of labels will be coming anytime soon? Stacey?
I have to think about it. That's a retarded question, I think.
I don't think it's a retarded question, but I'm gonna go to my left.
Yeah,
Erica,
it doesn't-
so as far as you know, like people are like, oh, they're femme, they're stud, they're this, they're that. Do you think that the labels are dying and that maybe we could all just, love people we love, or?
I think we're a long ways away from stuff, a lot of things label-wise, but I mean, we're getting close, but I mean, we're scratching a surface that is,
Vast.
yeah, abysmal, but,
Abysmal.
yeah, but.
Look it up.
But yeah, I mean, eventually, but no, I don't think anytime soon. I hope, but man.
That looks like a no over here.
Yeah, it's a soft no.
It's a soft no. Jessica, do you think the next generation will bring about the death of labels in the Black lesbian community, or no?
So I might be the hopeful, optimistic, but I think yes, like not just in the Black community, but I think in the world. I think that with technology, and I think the expediency through which we can like touch other people in other countries, and whereas before with our parents, it was whatever they told us or whatever our religion told us or whatever our culture was. But right now, I can talk to somebody in Afghanistan and I can be like, wow, you're just a human being and you have the same feelings that I have. So I do think that we're getting closer than we've ever been to releasing all labels in general.
Okay, Aisha?
I'll be the pessimist. I don't agree. Not even a little bit. I think. I think polar opposite. I think that you might have a twinkling of that in other communities outside of the people of color of our community. I think because Black men that are the polar opposite of that are so glorified, and because dykes mimic that we're very far from that. If that makes sense. I don't think that we're very close to that at all.
I will say in the
unfortunately.
Black community, it is different.
Yeah, and that's
think
the way.
religion-
And from this
yeah, okay,
perspective,
yeah.
But I
I
think
don't
it's
feel
religion that's played a huge role in it.
religion, excluding. It's just social shit. It's just people, who's the cool guy right now, and the cool guy is a fucking asshole, and a fucking asshole doesn't give a damn if you're this, that, or the third. It's just if you're not him, you're a dick, and you're a pussy, you're this or that. So I think that in the Black community especially, because if you look at, you just look at the top 40 music. We're musical people, so we really flow by music and like what's the vibe of our community right now. That's the men that are on the forefront right now. They're whack. And so our women that aren't trans, even though some of them who are trans transition into weird guys, so are we close to that? I wish we were. In this generation right now, no, maybe a few more, sure. In the Black community, I think as a whole, it will be more accepted, but specifically the community of color, no. We're a few strokes back for sure.
So, Mama?
Read it again, the question, please.
It says, do you think this next generation will bring about the death of labels in the Black lesbian community? I find more and more women identifying as women for women or no label than I've ever seen before. I embrace that, but I think it might just be in my regional city.
And it is regional. That's what I forgot. It's very regional. Extremely such.
I can see that. I agree. I do concur.
All right, so that's Savannah, a few words today. Uzo?
I wish that it was true. I wish that I could say that the next generation would be the generation to actually end it. But there's so much, like Black people are just now starting to talk about being gay and being open about it.
Accepting
and,
gay
and
Black men.
accepting gay. So
Jesus.
this is just happening in other cultures, Caucasians and every other race they've embraced it, they're much more further along than we are. And because of religion and because of all these other things that holds us back, because you're talking about you can talk to someone in Afghanistan, go to Crenshaw and talk to someone down the street. They're not gonna, even if they're gay, it doesn't matter. They're not gonna accept that. They're going to find a way to put hate into it because that's what society has taught them. So it's definitely not something that I think we have a fucking uphill battle to fucking fight. It's nowhere, and it's not even close. I don't even think. And hopefully, miracles do happen, and it can happen. And if that would be awesome, But I don't want to be a pessimist either. But I really don't feel it, because we take too long to get to where we need to be. We need to wake up faster and get with the program and understand what the hell is happening.
People need a feeling to identify with something. So
Yeah.
It feels like they need to have a label of some sort.
But Black folks are tribal at heart, so we find something to, like you said, identify with, and then we're like, this is this, and you're not that right.
Exactly.
You're that over there, so.
And then you judge,
and then it
you
keeps.
condemn.
It's a
You
box.
judge
I mean, look
them.
at all this. You're trans, you're gender fluid, you're this, you're polyamorous, you're monogamous, you're this. It's so many fingers, you know what I mean? When at the end of the day, it's
So
just
many
ass and titties.
fingers.
It's just ass and titties. That's it.
It's just ass and titties.
It's just ass and titties.
Just
That's
the water.
it.
You're
That's
eating
it.
water. If you go back to
TNA,
eating water,
T
that's it.
and motherfucking
It all
A.
makes
Keep it
sense.
simple. No, it's so simple.
Azure, do you think this next generation will bring about the death of labels in Black community, or no?
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah,
But you know what? I was raised in a different environment, so I think that I don't know. I was raised in something completely different. My family, the Black side of my family, is extremely open to my life. They're very religious, but I think that as well, men and women are different. They're more likely to accept my lifestyle than they are if my brother was gay. So because I grew up with Polynesians and Asians, I'm more likely to say, oh yeah, things are changing and they can change in my lifetime. But I wasn't raised in the community. I wasn't raised in a strictly Black community, so I can't speak to that.
I think that is a big.
I can't speak to that. I think worldwide there's in my generation, in my kids' generation, I think there's a big change going on because I see a lot of kids in their 20s and teens that don't care about these things. And I think it's gonna be a lot less. I mean, the fact that things have happened the way they have says that things are changing deeply. My mom and my dad couldn't travel openly right before I was born. They were having a hard time, in the 70s, or early mid 70s. So I think things can change. If the question is in the Black community, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe for women it'll be easier. For men it'll probably be harder, as it always is, right?
I mean, just to say, I'm from Nigeria, and it's still illegal to be gay in Nigeria. So when I came out to my mother at some point, I think it was this year, my brother's
I'm sorry, did you say this year?
I think it was, yeah. And what I heard was that my brother's like, when I find you, I'm going to kill you. So it's kind of like, this is still, it's still like it's a big issue. Even though like everywhere in the United States now it's legal to be married, it's still, in the Black community, it's still a really big issue to be gay. Even going back to New York, I have a lot of like, when I lived in New York, I wasn't like openly out. I kind of like, I was always aware of who I was, but I didn't really make it as open, and I wasn't out there and stuff. But it's like, when I go back, it's still like not really, it's not as open, it's not really as accepted, so it's like, it's in the Black community in Harlem. When you go to Harlem, you see gay people out, but it's not really something that's like, yay, everyone, let's be gay, so it's something that's really important. It's still really a serious subject, as far as like getting rid of labels, that's like a completely different conversation.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with her, especially if you're talking about other countries. That's completely different because there's places I would not travel. I love to travel, and there's places I won't go. As a woman, there are places that I will not go with my partner because it's not safe. So if we're talking about a worldwide thing, No, maybe my kids' kids. Maybe,
If that.
but if that,
If that,
if
yeah.
ever, you know, there's always gonna be a place that you can't go, but if we're talking about just
Texas.
I want to
Georgia.
I want to send
Right.
all the conservatives. I want to send all the conservatives to Texas and create their own whole community and like let people. Because I don't care about people's opinion or judgment. You can hate me because I'm gay or because I'm black or whatever, but you don't have the right to influence or inflict any type of laws against me or hatred or violence or anything. So just send them all to Texas. Give them the big fence that they want, and let everybody else have peace.
We get Miami though.
Yes, I want Miami.
Miami and Atlanta are ours, motherfucker. Shit, keep everything else.
Stacey, do you think this next generation will bring about the death of labels in the Black lesbian community, or not?
Not to come in like a bad station or anything, but I think, I mean, everybody had very valid points, but I think we missed the question. It
I
said
agree.
the lesbian black community. It didn't say the black community.
Then
So,
mine is the same because
It's
we're
the same,
still far
yeah,
off.
it's the same.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
the
yeah,
same.
but
I get you.
me,
yeah.
it's
So
exactly the
within the
same.
black lesbian community, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon because a lot of the questions we ask here, you know, are about femme and studs.
Right,
You know,
right.
we ask them here, the
Right.
subscribers, they ask
Thought
femme
that
and
was femme
stud
show.
questions. You know, so no, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, or if at all.
I think we're a few steps closer. I know for me personally, you know, I find that I see just a lot more people who are identifying as like, oh, I'm just looking for a femme, or I'm just looking for this. It'd be like, I'm looking for a woman who will love me and put in the time and commitment that I'm putting in.
Yeah.
So I do see a lot of that going on. So I think that, you know, a lot of times people who are stud on stud were villainized. People who are femme on femme weren't recognized.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Yes.
people are now just like, you know, I just want a woman who will love me. I think we're at that point now where people are like,
We're
fuck
over
a
the
label.
bullshit.
Fuck
Well,
a
people at that
label.
point because it's this pickings are so slim, and I think cool people are cloaked under like bullshit.
I said that.
I mean, cool people are cloaked under are so plugged into the matrix that they don't even realize how interesting that they are.
Yeah,
You better tell it.
So it's like it's all these like I work at I work at a barbershop. I own a barbershop, and he worked at
this barbershop.
and you know, all these great people come in and can't find a fucking date. And it's like because people are just so like you're supposed to be something
Yeah.
that nobody is, and
Right, they're
all
not
these
realizing their own
great
power
people are
and
floating right in
everything.
front of you. I think people are even more interesting than ever, but it's you know, people are just
Unplug
so
yourself.
disillusioned,
You have to
man. It's
unplug.
crazy.
But I think we're closer than we were in the past. I find a lot of people who are more.
I think we're further because we can so Google something that we are and hyphenate it to something else that is established. So I am a polyamor, gender fluid, queer, black, poly. Let me say poly one more time. You know what I mean? I don't even know what the fuck poly. You know what? I don't know. It's just stupid.
I don't know. I think we're closer though, because I know that I see a lot more people who are just like, I'm a no label, like I'm not this, I'm not that. So I see a lot more
Even
people,
no labels,
there may
label.
not be identifying as a label, but I see more people disavowing labels. So I see a lot more people who are like, I'm not this, I'm not that, don't categorize me. So I don't know if we'll be there in this next generation, but I think we're definitely getting closer to where we should be.
I say
Well,
black.
we're working on it. I don't know if we're closer. I think that we're doing the work right now slowly. It's kind of like
We're
a
not
snail.
there, but-
A snail working. I mean, trying to reach here from.
I
this
just think that
point.
people need to realize that black women, if we're talking from a black woman's perspective, are beautiful, and like there's a lot of feminine women that should be with each other. A lot of, but you know, this is my bro. We're best bros. It's like
Yeah,
if those
I love-
labels
I
weren't
love
there,
you, no
this
homo.
would be your woman. You know,
Right? Exactly.
that would be your woman.
Accepting
So it's like
everybody.
you know, there's a lot of single people that don't need to be single.
Right.
Right.
For sure.
So anyway, that has been the discussion today. Thank you for joining us for a new episode. If you want to have your question featured, please email us at thelezfactor@gmail.com, info@thelezfactor.com, or on Instagram on direct message. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Keep subscribing. We appreciate you. So check out at Her Pink Box, one of our sponsors, and also at swagdesignscreations.com. She makes all of our Les Factor gear. So this is this shirt here. So if you want something custom made, check her out. Thank you for tuning in. Next time.
Must admit we lost the love and feeling. Now you want that old thing back. I Adiosa. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Sayonara. At least we try. Arrivederci. Don't ask why, didn't mean to hurt ya.